Ever gazed upon the serene waters of Lake Toba and felt its ancient, mystical pull? Beyond its breathtaking beauty lies a story etched in stone, a legend of heartbreak and the sacrifice that echoes through the generations. This is the tale of the Hanging Stone, or Batu Gantung, a story that transforms a simple geological wonder into a monument of profound sadness. Let's travel back in time, to a small village nestled on the shores of this majestic lake, and uncover the tragic story of a young Batak girl named Seruni. Seruni was known throughout her village for her incredible beauty. Her smile was sight to rival the morning sun, and her kindness touched everyone she met. But her heart belonged to a young man, a handsome and gentle soul from a neighboring village. They were deeply in love, their days filled with secret meetings by the lake and the dreams of a future spent together. Their love was pure, a perfect melody against the backdrop of Toba's stunning landscape. However, fate, as it often does in these timeless tales, had a different plan. Seruni's father, a respected but stubborn man, had already arranged her marriage. The groom was not the man she loved, but the son of a wealthy and influential village chief. For her father, this union was a matter of honor, a strategic alliance that would bring prosperity and the status to their family. He saw it as his duty, a way to secure his daughter's future. When he announced the arrangement to Seruni, her world shattered. The melody of her love was drowned out by a storm of despair. She pleaded with her father, her tears flowing like the streams that fed the great lake. She spoke of her love, her promises, her dreams, but her father's heart was as hard as the stones on the shore. He refused to listen, blinded by his ambition and the tradition. To him, her love was a childish fantasy, an obstacle to the family's advancement. Seruni was trapped, caught between her heart's desire and her father's unyielding will. The vibrant colors of her life began to fade into shades of gray. With a heavy heart and no more hope in sight, Seruni felt a profound sense of despair. The thought of a life without her true love was a burden too heavy to bear. One day, overwhelmed by sorrow, she walked away from her village, her steps leading her aimlessly along the cliffs overlooking the vast, deep waters of Lake Toba. She walked with her loyal dog, Sitoki, who sensed his master's sadness and stayed faithfully by her side. She wasn't planning anything. She was just trying to escape the pain that consumed her. As she reached the treacherous edge, lost in her grief, she stumbled and fell into a dark, narrow crevice in the rock face. The fall wasn't fatal, but she was trapped. The rock walls were steep and slippery, offering no more escape. She was wedged deep within the earth, alone with her thoughts and her loyal dog, who barked frantically from the cliff's edge, trying to get help. Darkness began to envelop her, both literally and metaphorically. The beautiful lake that was once the backdrop to her love story had now become her prison. Hours turned into what felt like an eternity. From the depths of the chasm, Seruni cried out in despair. Her voice, filled with anguish and hopelessness, echoed across the cliffs. She yelled, "Parapat, parapat." In the local Batak language, this meant merge with the stone. It was a cry of ultimate surrender, a plea for the rock to absorb her, to end her suffering by making her one with the cold, unfeeling stone. She no more longer wished for rescue, only for release from her unbearable pain. Her loyal dog, Sitoki, heard her cries. In a desperate attempt to save her, the brave little dog ran back to the village, barking and pulling at the villagers' clothes, trying to lead them to the cliff. But they couldn't understand his urgency. They shooed him away, annoyed by his frantic behavior. Heartbroken and exhausted, Sitoki ran back to the crevice, trying to dig and claw his way to Seruni, but it was no more use. The rock was unforgiving. As the villagers finally realized something was terribly wrong and followed the dog to the cliff's edge, they heard Seruni's faint, final cries of "Parapat." Just as they arrived, the ground trembled. The narrow crevice she had fallen into began to close, the stone walls merging together as if answering her desperate plea. The villagers could only watch in horror and disbelief. When the shaking stopped, all that remained was the faint outline of a female figure, suspended on the cliff face, forever a part of the rock. And that is the legend of Batu Gantung, the Hanging Stone. Today, as boats pass by this spot in the town of Parapata, town named after Seruni's final, hunting words travelers can see the rock formation that uncannily resembles a human figure, hanging from the cliff. Some even say you can spot a smaller shape nearby, believed to be her loyal dog, Sitoki, forever watching over his beloved master. It stands as a somber reminder of a life that was denied, of a young life lost to rigid traditions and their father's pride. The story of Seruni is more than just a folk tale. It's a cultural touchstone for the Batak people, a cautionary tale about the importance of listening to one's children and the devastating consequences of putting ambition before love and the happiness. It serves as a permanent, silent sermon carved into the fairy landscape of Lake Toba. So the next time you see the hanging stone, look closer. You're not just seeing a rock formation. You're witnessing the final chapter of a tragic love story, a permanent tear on the beautiful face of Lake Toba. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of Indonesian folklore. If you found this story as moving as you do, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with others who appreciate the deep stories hidden within our world's most beautiful places. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries around you.